Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to. Cool. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast, special festival edition. Today we were with Jim Jarvis, and he has a number of events that they work with throughout the year. One of their big ones is the River Edge Concert Series. Jim, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you having us.
Jim, give us a little background on you. Where'd you grow up? Talk just a little bit about your family and career.
Sure, yeah. So I grew up in the south side of Chicago, and so very much of a blue-collar, type neighborhood. And it's funny because where I grew up, like you played sports, but nobody did theater. And, I end up spending majority of my career now working in theater and concerts and those kind of things. But I went to I couldn't get into a college because I got a 13 on my ACT. I was a terrible student. So I went and played junior college football for a while, got my act together, and then ended up at Illinois State University on a series of stuff. I got an internship, which led me to be the assistant sports information director at Illinois State. Then I went on to be a marketing director for a division of the Walt Disney Companies. And in between all that, I accidentally fell into improv. So I studied at Second City, played for years in Chicago on teams with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, and then other teams there were only 5 teams at the time. So Adam McKay was Academy Award winner, all these folks. And then ended up bumping into our CEO who runs this place now at another place. I did one of their plays for him, and I was still working in marketing. He talked me into giving up the corporate world to come work in the rich world of nonprofit theater and concerts. And here we are, man. And
That's
years
awesome.
later, we did that together for like 10 or 11 years there. He left there to come to Paramount River Edge Park. And then I took his job there, and he called and said, hey, let's do it again. So here I am. And I just started my 12th year at this place on October 31st.
All right, very good, very good. Let's jump into River's Edge Concert Series. Let's start with the when and the where.
Yeah, so River Edge Park. River Edge is a beautiful 6,000 person outdoor concert venue. We're right along the Fox River, so it's absolutely gorgeous. And truly, one of the things that's unique about it is during the week, it is literally a regular park, with the exception of the permanent stage and one other building. So we transform this into a concert venue every single weekend. And then we tear it back down at the end of the weekend and then put it into a park. So it's cool. We've really run the gamut over the years on stuff. We've had everybody from Lady A and Trace Atkins and, Willie Nelson to Kiss and John Fogerty, One Republic. And so the nice thing about it also is the fact of we've played for a little bit with putting in kind of permanent temporary seats. So that meant we had 4,000 seats that we would put in at the beginning of the year, and then we'd have to take it out at the end of the year and put them away. What we found is our patrons truly rather bring their own seats with them, bring the bag chairs. So we stripe the entire park. We have seating guides that teach people, hey, you put the back of your leg onto this line. It creates nice even aisles. People can come in and out. And our entire area in front of the stage is a standing room only. We can fit 2,000 people up there. And you can literally set up your bag chair, walk up in front for a couple of numbers, go back to your bag chair, go out to the food trucks, whatever else on stuff. And it's just got this really cool vibe to it. And we've been really lucky. We draw about 100,000 people every summer to the park. And, we continue to grow and grow. And we're about to do a $10 million renovation to the park.
That's fantastic. What a project that is. Absolutely. All right, let's jump into let's just you did a great job. You pretty much answered all the questions that I was going to ask you.
Well, I'm hyped up on coffee too, Jake. So
you gave us a great visual. Let's talk about the aura of sense of smell. People always want to know what kind of foods are around during an event like this. What kind of foods are they going to smell in the air?
So the cool thing is, our goal is we just want to get all sorts of different. We're in Aurora, so Aurora is the second biggest city in Illinois behind Chicago. and it's a very diverse, culturally diverse city. 49% of our population is Latino, and then we have, Asian, Indian, et cetera, and stuff. So we really do. We have everything from burrito trucks to the person who does the lobster roll. We've got, these great, Chicago's known for its hot dogs. So we have this great hot dog vendor that's out there. We've got somebody who's doing Indian food, and we also have people who do these amazing desserts. And so, and then of course, Italian beef and hamburgers, and we've got 2 different rib vendors and barbecue folks that are out there. So you go back there, and the nice thing is we have speakers everywhere, so you can listen to it. We've got jumbotrons all over the place. So when you sit back and you're, at the at the picnic tables and back, man, you can sit there and you can still watch them on the jumbotron. And I think that just adds to the overall experience that we're trying to do. And like our CEO was great when we started this. And he said, hey, look, Chicago is the most competitive summer concert market in the United States because you've got Lollapalooza and Wrigley's doing shows and Soldier Field, et cetera, and stuff, and people like us. And so we know that people bust their rear ends every day to make a living around here. We're asking them to spend their expendable income with us. So how do we make this a great experience for them? How do we make it, warm and friendly, and the kind of people that we hire? We try to make all of everything reasonable. So like our beers are $7. You're not paying $15 to go get a beer at our place. Like parking is $10. And it's right across the street. And then we have free parking right on the other side of the river, but there's a bridge attached to it. And so everything that we try to do, we truly try to do it to make it a great experience for the artists and for the patrons themselves. And I think we've succeeded. We continue to succeed, and we don't rest on our laurels. Like, we're constantly trying to figure out what's next.
That's perfect. That's perfect. All right. Now, any hints of what you got coming this next year?
Well, put it this way. I'm looking at the board right now because technically we can't announce anything until they've been cleared, and you know how that goes. But we're going to have a couple of really large rock and roll bands that are coming in. We're looking at a really great big country artist that we haven't had in years on stuff. Our Blues Fest, we are dipping back into some of the biggest names in blues that we're looking to bring back in again. So we should start announcing this within the month, and then we'll start letting it out there for everybody.
I love it. I love it. All right. Now, a couple fun questions, because I am in live music and entertainment. I always ask these next 2 questions.
Sure.
Just as a survey from across the nation. So I'm going to be interested to your answers. What I want to know, what's the best concert you've ever seen in your entire life?
The best concert I've ever seen in my entire life truly I saw Springsteen on the River Tour, and it was like 1981 or 82 in Allstate Arena. And for a couple reasons. Number one, we bought obstructed seats, and we knew they were going to be crap when we got there. And as I'm walking up, a guy is scalping his tickets because we got there late and the show was just about to start. So we got 5th row tickets for face value because he didn't want to eat them. So the tickets were great. But I look at some people and I go, hey, man, there are some groups that are just an artist that put on an amazing show. And Springsteen's one of those guys, man. Like, I'll always remember Firehouse from the beginning of Hungry Heart. Everybody was singing it, and he's smart enough to let everybody go and just keep doing it. And like the energy. And there's a bunch of artists that just put it all out there, and he was one of them. And it was one of those experiences. I'm like, yes, like this is what it should be like every single time. And like, you're an artist, you know it. And it's one of those where I always try to tell people too, hey man, when the artist gets here and it looks like it's going to rain and we may not do a show, like, there's nobody wants to be out there more than that artist. Like that's what they love doing. And our job is to provide that opportunity. And when they get out there, man, they're just leaving it all on the stage. That's what it's all about for everybody. And so,
that's so cool.
It's great when you get those kind of artists still at that age that go, yeah, this is what I do. And this is what I love to do. And I was born to do. And so he lays it out there. And I'll always remember that experience.
Dead or alive, you get to see one musical artist, band, or individual. Who would you want to see?
It's interesting. I've always wanted to see Willie Nelson. And I've worked with Willie 3 times. And like, there's something about Willie. And I'll tell you the thing that, number one, he's another one of those guys, doesn't talk a lot in between his sets. Right. But And when he's singing, you can feel that every single time. Like he is breaking your heart, or he's filling you with joy, and everything that, you know, he feels, you're feeling. And I think one of the really cool things was, and it happened every time, we had him at Paramount Theater. We 1,800 seats, did 2 nights with him. He stood on the edge of the stage and signed autographs for 2 hours after the show.
Oh man.
Like people would just come up, and I was talking to his tour manager, and he was like, "Hey, you don't realize the stress that puts on his playing hand,
Yeah,
because he's signing autographs." But his point is, hey, these are hardworking people that came to see me, and if I can do that for them, then we're going to do that. But I still have not seen the Rolling Stones, and I've always wanted to see the Rolling Stones, and so that would be an absolutely awesome show for me as well.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it. You guys have got some great things. Guys, in a month or less, they'll be announcing their lineup for 2024. Jim, thanks for being on with us.
Oh, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet. Well, baby, I'm on it.